Hello, and welcome to the last installment of Victorian Age Vampire, The Masquerade, A Spiritual Awakening. I'm Anya. I'm your storyteller this evening, and I am one half of the creative and writing team at Balsamic Moon Games. I want to thank you guys for coming along with us on this journey, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll let our cast introduce themselves and their characters. Who wants to go first?
Go first, so I suppose I could start this time as well. Hello, dark. Greetings. I am the illustrious Morning Star, and this evening I shall be playing Francois, a licentious toreador who, well, usually gets the job done in one way, a less than appropriate way. Who wants to go next? Don't all volunteer. Gavin, darling, why don't you go?
Hi, I'm playing Felix. I'm a Malkavian. Uh, he's kind of been the wealthy. He's kind of been the Batman of the adventure so far. The bankroller and um, looking forward to seeing his Malkavian aspects come out tonight. Let's go to Azalwin.
Hello, I am Azelvin. Today I play Dahlia. I am a conqueror. I'm Zemitsky or Zemitsky. I am a dragon. I conquer. I don't need to pronounce things. And yes, I mainly just smash heads. I like to smash and take. And I have a couple secrets, but it's okay.
And I play Charlize, creepy crawly. They're Nosferatu, and they're the unintentional muscle of the group. Large in charge and super gnarly.
And a great rat friend as
Yes.
well. Ratsputin has been
Best boy.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and jump right into it for this evening. So, Elena sends you guys all an invitation to a gathering she is having at her monastery setup. She is welcoming home her son, who has been away for a very long time, and her and Emil are very excited to see back in town. He is probably known to you guys all as Vlad the Impaler. I don't think at this point necessarily he's Dracula, but yeah, he will be soon enough. But she's gonna have a large gathering where she has invited lots and lots of people, mostly vampires, and maybe a few werewolves. We'll see. And yeah, so you guys have it's a black tie event, so look nice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You have 2 evenings to prepare yourselves for this event.
I think we should do a what's that story where we try to make the ladies into ladies. Getting them, yeah, get them some new dresses and
I don't know how much of a lady Charlize is. I think we have to go to a big and tall.
no problem. I'm willing to call in a favor to make sure we have the resources available to get you all properly outfitted.
Check out this giant woman in silks.
Sugar Daddy Felix is going to take care of us.
She'll slide all over the battlefield.
Oh, and you don't have to worry about coming full up on blood to this party.
So it is one of those kinds of parties. Magnifique.
There's gonna be food.
Food provided.
The question is, do I get to play with the food?
I guess that's up to you.
And up to the food.
The food doesn't get a choice. Yeah.
Actually, if it's Elena's house, they absolutely get a choice.
That's true.
And Francois would never be.
I don't think there's anything else special aside from making sure we're all outfitted to the nines that Felix would be doing. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Charlize just might take a bath.
Not a bad idea.
Don't know how ranked she is at this point.
Dahlia goes out and tries to put on some rouge. She thinks it'll spice her up.
The blood of your enemies.
She's like, I heard this worked in the old days, alright?
Francois will acquire some clothes that are not covered in stains.
We did have quite the undertaking the other night. I think we all got a little bloodied.
Probably.
That is not the kind of stains I was talking.
Of course not.
Well, if you want to time travel to the night of the party, we can just say that you guys are all efficiently dressed and smelling nice. And yeah, so you arrive at the monastery. There are a few more guards at the grounds, on the grounds than you have seen normally, which makes sense because there's going to be so many people here. Elena wants to make sure that everybody follows the rules and nobody unwanted shows up.
For sure.
So, you drive your carriage down the front gate, through the front gate, and down the driveway, and there are where you would normally go meet Elena in the main chapel area. It looks like it has um, gotten larger, like the building has grown. So that's interesting. Like the ceiling's higher, it's more grand. Um,
I thought it looked a bit small before, but evidently it was a grower, not a shower.
yep. And yeah, there's a big stained glass set of double doors at the front of the chapel that are open and ready to welcome you guys in. There are valets to take your carriage to make sure that everything is parked and properly taken care of. Everything is super fancy and yeah.
Awesome.
Just how I like it.
Before we get too far into it, Worm Enigma, thank you for the gift sub.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Hope I said your name right.
It's just subs and followers left and right all over the screen. So thank you all. Do you think Dahlia might be able to tell what happened with the growing
The growing building.
growing building?
Possibly.
I think I'd be very interested in knowing how to do this for my my horse.
Maybe a roll of
So,
some sort.
if you guys want to roll some perception rolls to try and see if you can figure out what happened to the building, if that's something you're curious about, let's do like, I guess you could do perception plus.
Architecture.
Probably not going to help you with architecture. Trying to think if you could use like a heightened senses or something like that to like smell, or I mean, don't taste the building, but you could smell it for sure.
Is that a command? Don't taste the building?
Don't taste the building. It's written right on the wall. Don't lick the walls.
When it's that direct, it just really makes us want to taste that building.
Mhm.
Dahlia, do
I
you...
guess your vampire bloodlines thing might be helpful. You could figure it out that way.
Okay.
Dahlia could roll perception plus flesh crafting and see if you could figure it out.
Is this a flesh craft? Let's see. Oh, that is a whole enjoyable 3.
But your difficulty is probably lower.
Yeah.
Here we
All
go.
right, let me get my mouse. It's
What would the difficulty be on that?
difficulty for Dahlia is 4.
Well, I have
Difficult.
2
Yeah.
successes out of 7. 7.
Cool.
Right. Mine, with the specialty in bloodlines, what's the difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successes.
Okay. So between the two of you, you're definitely able to figure out that the building has been augmented with human and animal flesh, and that it is technically a living thing.
So there are some powerful...
Flip the building.
I'm
Can you-
sure there's a Rob Zombie joke in there somewhere.
If you put your ear to the wall, you can almost hear a heartbeat or bunches of heartbeats.
That sounds like a building.
So if you're going to
That's-
go in the flesh building, I'll tell you what to see next.
Yeah, it's a bit off-putting, but I'll let
Is it?
everybody know. Well, to us, we're not used to that. I mean, maybe Dahlia is.
Dahlia has no problem with flesh building.
Yeah. But I'll let everyone else know that that this is an indication that Elena has the assistance of a very powerful Zamish. And so you don't have to worry about anybody getting out of hand in here.
No.
But yeah, then I'll lead everyone in.
As it is rather unfortunate, I prefer it when things get out of hand.
Oh, I mean, the building might let things get out of hand, you know. When you walk in, there are tables all around the edges of the walls, and they are covered in beautiful chiseled crystal wine glasses. The design on the wine glasses is the dragon of Vlad's family crest. The walls are... I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this that's not too weird. I guess the best way to describe it, not in historically accurate terms, but there's kind of like a tap, and when you pull the tap, your glass is filled with blood. So you're able to eat to your heart's content from the walls of the building.
Excellent.
Hot, liquid.
I'm refilling my blood pool to its maximum.
Feel free.
Yes, Dahlia is quite delighted by this feature. Does this building have a name? I feel like it should at least have a name.
I'm sure it does. In the center of the room, there is a large table set up in front of Elena, Emil, and Vlad, and they are greeting people from almost throne-like chairs at the front of the room as people walk by and basically check in and say hello to Vlad because, again, he has been in the New World for quite a long time, and he's come home to visit.
Yeah, you are a bit quiet there. See if I can do something on my end.
Dahlia gets more flustered as she sees everybody here and sees who's up at the throne.
All right,
Like
that hopefully
Dahlia may
will.
be starstruck.
Yeah, Felix is definitely starstruck as well.
Do we
Oh,
need to pay our respects upon entry?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It seems like the thing that everyone's doing.
can you describe Emil? I don't think we've had a description of him yet.
We have, but I will be happy
Okay,
to do it
thank
again.
you.
Emil is a tall, um, thin albino man who try to remember his picture in my head because it's been a minute.
Yeah, he has
Um,
silver white hair.
silver white hair, very pale skin. Um, you know, no melanin anywhere in him. He likes to decorate himself with piercings that remind him of a time long, long ago. He probably is in some sort of leather armor, again, that you haven't seen in many years in style or anything like that. Um, Vlad, on the other hand, is kind of what you have all seen of him, long dark hair, um, olive complexion, brown eyes. He's not quite as tall as Emil, but he is taller than Elena. Um, he has surprisingly very kind eyes for all the stories that everyone has always heard about him. Um, he does not necessarily look like the battle-hardened impaler of thousands that you would expect to see. He is also very fashionably dressed in the fashion of the times. He looks like he would fit right in on any street in Victorian London.
Excellent, thank you.
Is it important to be stylish? Or do I use my juste à point?
Is there a ring for us to kiss?
No, it's been a few years since that's been happening.
uh, just would one of you like to do the introductions, introduce our whole group to Vlad? Somebody with etiquette, maybe. That's why I'm bowing out of this one.
Who has
Charlize
etiquette?
is gonna stand next to Felix on this one.
I do have the etiquette. I am quite the graceful wreck.
Perfect. You can do a charisma plus etiquette roll and see how well Vlad appreciates your introduction. My
And I
mouse
shall
keeps
approach the
getting
throne and I shall dip my head and I shall say, Bonsoir, Monseigneur, the Emperor. It brings me great pleasure to introduce you my little group here, the fantastic Felice Cross. the intimidating Dahlia, and the grumpy Clarice.
I'll take grumpy over smelly. That's okay.
You did just have a bath.
Now, etiquette plus charisma will be, okay, just 1 second.
Dahlia has to be careful not to call him Vladdy.
What's the difficulty rating for this?
5.
Only 3 successes, my goodness.
Still good. Okay. So, Vlad is definitely amused by your French accent that he has not heard in a while since he's been in the Americas. And, yeah, Elena kind of chuckles a little bit at his reactions and proceeds to add onto your introduction and tell Vlad that this is the group that she was telling him about. These are the guys who took care of Jack the Ripper for us and have bolstered relations between Elena and the Sabbat, which is good. And uh, this is specifically Dahlia that I was telling you about that I want you to spend some time with later to um, see if you can't suss out what I was telling you about.
Dahlia's flustered, but but also still starstruck. She's like, "Ooh, VIP."
Yeah, so once they have greeted everyone this evening, Vlad will be coming to find you guys to have a good sit down and get to know you a little better.
Between Francois's introduction of us and Elena adding on that bit, I think that kind of amounted to actually a pretty dang good introduction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't get much better.
No. And it, helping with the Sabbat is completely not what we intended, but I love that.
You did it.
I love that's how it turned out.
Gabriel is here this evening.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
I am certain we shall bump into one another. Mostly because the laws of the bloodbath sort of dictate that we shall.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to find a place to sit and watch everybody else, come in and see if you recognize anyone, see, who else Elena's rubbing elbows with, and yeah,
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
could be fun.
I'll be on the lookout for any high-ranking Camarilla so that we can just know where the battle lines might be drawn if there are any issues. Dahlia, could you see if you can sniff around and see if there are any non-vampire entities at this gathering?
The
Aside
whole
from the
building.
house.
Yes, I could use my auspex and raise my senses a little bit and sniff around. I think I would want to sit close to a spigot anyway when I go to sit down. So I could feign that's what I'm looking for to sit next to.
Yeah.
Would that be to see if there's any non-human entities? What would I roll for that?
I'm not
Or
going to make you
human
roll for
entities?
that because the only non-human entities here are incorporated into the building pretty much. There are a few ghouls that are about, but most ghouls weren't even invited to this party. Yeah, so it's mostly just the building.
What about werewolves? That was what I meant.
Oh, you want to know about werewolves?
Any were creatures of any kind. It's not really my specialty, but Dahlia might be able to sniff them out.
Yeah.
They're
Let's see.
probably pretty smelly.
I'll make sure we let them know you said that.
Roll your perception plus your aspects, and you're gonna use heightened senses. So I'll give you a lower target number, and we'll see if you can smell out any puppies.
Because that's an interesting combo as it is.
Interesting combo
Yeah,
and an interesting roll.
Very.
What was the difficulty?
5.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So perfect. 3
Nice.
successes. There is a strange-looking man that seems to be slightly agitated, um, standing in the back corner behind Elena. He also looks to be, he looks very similar to Vlad in ethnicity. So he has dark hair, olive skin, dark eyes. Um, he's not super like imposing at the moment, but yeah, he definitely does not smell like a vampire, and he does not smell like a human. I don't know if you've had any interaction with werewolves in the past to know that that's what this is.
I imagine Dahlia's been in enough brawls and random people sniffing around her horde that she would have done something about a werewolf or two here and there, maybe.
Yeah, if you have a horde, you might have had a bonar stop by.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, so you can definitely tell that he is a werewolf.
He's the smell. That's why I say they smell a certain way. It's not like
Probably
quite wet dog, but it's close.
That's quite a position, standing back there with behind them. Like, that means they're not scared of him at all.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. My
Would you
little.
be scared of anything in a flesh building, though?
The floor just opens up and sucks him into the ground.
I'd
Trapdoor.
hate to see that. All right.
But I think he's probably, yeah, he's the only one. Most werewolves don't associate with vampires especially on this level of association. So
It
he's a special case.
does he look like he's kind of off limits from the party? Like, we're not really supposed to be interacting?
No, he's definitely not food.
Mm-hmm.
But he just seems to be, you know, the lone wolf
lone
type.
wolf.
Does he have
He just
like
doesn't want to interact with too many vampires. There's a limit even to a werewolf who does associate with vampires.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, who wouldn't be interested in coming to see Vlad?
But if you're interested, I'm sure Elena would make an introduction because, yeah, it's always fun for her to show off her friends, toys.
I think Felix is worried enough about rogue gangrels, let alone an actual werewolf, so he'll probably keep his distance.
I think Charlize is down. It's like, when else am I going to get a chance to have a civil conversation with a werewolf?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say it would be civil, but
At least there's witnesses.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, that might be a good time for you to find out. Does my invisibility work on werewolves?
Ooh,
Just
yeah.
invisible in his
See, they'll find
face. Good puppy.
I assume
I throw a fork across the room while he chases it.
is he in a non-human form like Hispo or anything, or is he
No,
okay?
he's probably in his glabro form.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know. That would have made it kind of obvious though that he was a werewolf, and once we had to smell him out, I'd say he's probably in his human form,
okay,
just to draw as little attention to himself as possible.
sure.
He doesn't have that fine glabro form where he doesn't look like a
Oh yeah,
wolf man.
yeah. Ooh, you're making me want to play werewolf.
I know. Next time.
After season 2 of Night Sky Sanctum, tune in for werewolf.
Chad apparently wants me to crop dust him.
That's how you start the party.
He just starts retching.
Kindred parts have to be terrible.
All protein.
It's like she's been on keto for 100 years.
It's awful. Oh my god, what died? Literally me!
Yeah. So any festivities?
So, they're kind of waiting on everybody to file in who is supposed to be here. And, a lot of vampires like to think that they need to be fashionably late.
Of course.
So,
Already.
you do notice, that the man who's been calling himself your brother shows up, Felix.
Well, I can't hide
And-
from him forever, so
Mm-hmm.
I won't go and hide, but I'm not gonna like seek him out or anything either.
Megan, do you have any kind of heightened senses or anything like that that you could do?
I don't believe so. I potence, animalism, and obfuscate, but I don't think I have any heightened senses.
Can you make a perception plus awareness roll?
Okay.
Target number 7.
Alertness.
Okay, I was gonna say I can't find
Sorry.
them.
Ooh.
Okay, 2 successes. Um, you notice a very familiar smelling mixture of clove and sandalwood that was the uh, perfume slash cologne of choice of your ex who you turned yourself to be with. It didn't work out. So you look around, but you don't see anybody who looks like them.
If you want, I can. If you want to tell me about that, I could use heightened senses to try to, sniff them out.
Felix, use your smell-o-vision.
I will create a 3-dimensional scent.
Scent map.
Yeah.
I need clove and sandalwood.
Perception and alertness.
Yeah. You have heightened senses on,
I
so
do.
target number, it's 2 off, right?
Yeah, usually.
So it would be 7, so drop 2 off that.
Does my perception specialty of attentive help?
Yeah.
Then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay, so you can narrow it down to this one man who is, it seems like he's afraid to come in of the building. He's kind of lurking in the hallway right outside of the like main chamber doors. He's kind of walking back and forth in and out of the actual chamber, seeming rather nervous.
All right, I'll point Charlize in that direction and let them know that I'll be right here if they need me.
So would you like to approach this person, or would you like to watch and see what they do?
Could I do both? Could I obfuscate and get closer?
Yeah.
Be all sneaky.
Yeah. I don't think there's a role associated with being invisible. So yeah, you can get yourself over there and watch them pace in and out of the doorway. You can definitely tell that it is their signature perfume because they made it themselves.
Okay.
So it's not like anybody else would have this one. But they definitely aren't the overwhelmingly beautiful toreador that you fell for when you decided you wanted to become a vampire. They look um like they have a I'm trying to think of a very sensitive way to say this. Um because the power that was used on them it's not very nice. It basically he looks like he has a very bad case of boils, possibly leprosy. Um but if you get a good look at his eyes, which I don't see why you can't, you can tell that it is Alexander.
While I'm still invisible, can I just be like 2 floating cups of blood and then come on over? Oh, I think my audio cut out. I can't hear anybody.
No, I think Anya's for some reason her yes didn't come through, but yeah.
Oh, did it? I'm not.
Yeah,
Is my
you're fine.
microphone not? Do I
I
need to
couldn't
move
hear
it closer to
anybody.
my face?
We
I'm
can
just
hear you
gonna
now.
unplug mine really quick. It's chopping in and out for me. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh goodness, darling, we can hear you so clearly. It's almost as if you're in the next room.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Maybe that'll be part of
Uh-huh.
the Q&A video next time. Are they really in the same house?
Certainly a very different backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna bring him a drink.
But I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Just gonna
So you're
coax
just gonna
him in with, like,
invisible a drink to him. Okay. Um.
don't want to be involved just yet. Just trying to coax him inside.
Okay. Um. He's an old vampire, so he definitely. I mean, he doesn't know that it's you, but he knows that he knows what this ability is, and he takes the drink, knows that somebody knows that he's there, so he should just get it over with and go through the line and make his presence and greeting and all that good stuff known. So he sips on this drink while he makes his way through the line, and when he gets there, he tells Elena and Vlad and Emil who he is. He's Alexander Williamson. They do have some history together. Um, an old friend of Elena's, also a Zamish, and one of the last children Elena ever made, so a Toreador also, were at a gathering together, and this Toreador, Alexander, because he was devastatingly handsome, um, kind of insulted Elena's child on their appearance. And this child took that very personally. And because she was such good friends with such a powerful Zamish, and Zamish have access to so many body altering curses, shall we say. Um, they took several years to make sure that they followed this man back to his home. I would assume that this was um, after you guys had met and everything had happened between the two of you. And they cursed him, and now he is no longer the handsome man that he was.
Living the life of a Nosferatu while in the bloodline of a Toreador.
Exactly.
Wow.
It was very devastating, and it has only gotten worse. It started out not being that bad, and it only gets worse over time, and that's part of the, I guess, the painfulness caused by this curse is that it just continues to degrade the person who is the recipient of this curse.
As if
Couldn't have
Grand
happened.
Sword enough things to be afraid of.
Don't fuck with the Zamish.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy, though.
Yeah, he was not the nicest, but he had his good points too. He was just said the wrong thing to the wrong person and got himself in trouble. But he is here to basically, because he knows that Vlad is a Zamish, a very powerful Zamish, to beg him to reverse this curse that uh, this other Zamish has put on him. And Vlad also knows the person who put the curse on him and why he did it. And he tells him, unfortunately, that the only person who can undo this curse is the person who put it there. And I don't see you being able to convince that person to take this curse off of you. And I am very sorry, but there's nothing that he can do. So he walks back towards the door, very sad and downtrodden and just exhausted. He flops down in a seat in a corner next to a tap and proceeds to just start drinking.
Drink his sorrows away.
Yeah, trying to. He has learned some Nosferatu tricks so that he can make himself look better for a little while. But not even the highest levels of, what do you call it?
Yeah. Uh, the O one.
Yeah,
Obfuscate.
obfuscate. Not even the highest levels of obfuscate can obfuscate his curse.
Mm,
So
Just goes from boils to smallpox scars.
yeah.
yeah, it's not great.
Well, with a nearly
But
unlimited supply of blood, at least he can afford
he
to
can
use
keep it
that
up.
for the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, I wonder if it's worthwhile. I think I'm gonna pump my dexterity to max. Just
Okay.
just, since we have a virtually unlimited blood.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case.
How much is it again if you're to use blood to bump stats? Is it 2 per 1 dot?
1 per 1 dot.
1 per
Yep.
1. Okay.
1 for 1.
So I'll pump
Dahlia thinks Felix has the best ideas.
I'll pump dexterity twice and strength once. That way I'm
Okay.
average.
I'm gonna bump 1 of each. So I got a lot of blood. Alrighty.
Great, Felix. It's your turn.
My turn. So I assume that this means that my brother is stalking me.
He's coming to say hi. Conrad is coming to say hello to you again.
I will greet him as cordially as I can and let him know that while his presence here is not exactly appreciated, we do understand that he has the right to be here because he was invited.
He is no longer concerned so much with your feelings as he
Oh,
has been, and he will say that to you, that he is no longer going to coddle you in your delusions, that you need to understand what you've done,
really?
really.
In that case, um, yeah, I will give him a stare down and just try to bring all my rage to the surface and just yeah, just want to stare at him with all the hate I can muster.
Okay.
Do you think maybe a willpower roll?
Um, are you trying, like, it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to intimidate him?
Yeah.
So why don't you roll, like, manipulation plus intimidation?
Okay.
Target number 7, because he is also very angry and ready to
Gotcha.
throw down.
I was does my specialty count? Ingratiating. No, I don't think it counts.
No, you're not ingratiating.
I'm sorry, I missed the difficulty.
7.
Uh, one success.
Oh, he's done with your bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's angry.
Oh well, in that case, I guess I'm kind of at his mercy. I'll have to just sort of stand and take it, let it out.
Let it out. uh, Conrad, basically, what he does is he holds out his hand to you, basically, to shake your hand.
Okay, I can do that. I'll reach
He's
out my
going to take your hand and then grab your elbow and pull you in very close to him. And do you do you remember the name of your sire?
I could probably spend willpower to try to muster it, but that is beyond my
No, could
selective
you tell me?
amnesia. Oh, I think yeah, I don't think I came up with one because specifically because
Oh,
my characters got selective amnesia about it. Uh, we were thinking it was probably a woman.
okay. Her name's Hilda.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. We're from Germany.
Yeah, it's the first German lady name that came into my brain.
It's a lovely one.
It is. I
All
love
right.
that show.
Yeah, I'll whisper to him, Hilda. Or, I'm sorry, he wasn't asking, you were asking.
Yeah, I was asking. He's going to grab your elbow, pull you in close, and say, in the most like calm and unwavering voice, "You
That's
have
just
killed Hilda."
Well, I don't believe him.
um, he proceeds to tell you all the details about how he found her and how he found you, and lay out all the evidence for you about the way your blood was mingled with hers, the way uh, your own madness slash delusions can take hold of you. Um, it's very convincing.
um, how much willpower do I need to spend to make myself forget that he told me this.
Huh.
For the moment.
To make yourself forget.
Charlize could just buck you on the head a few times.
Concussion time. You heal right back. It doesn't work.
We can have a flesh-crafted lobotomy.
Roll a wits and enigmas roll.
Oh,
Target number 8.
okay. My wits is level-headed.
Okay.
Does that count?
I think that would work against you in this situation.
Yeah, I think so too. Target number 8.
Mm-hmm.
2 successes. Usually it's like 5 to completely block something.
Yeah.
So maybe spend 3
So
willpower. Or am I just not able?
no, I don't think you're able at this point because he's right there in your face and he's just kind of repeating it over and over and over again to try to get through to you. You are starting to have a flood of memories come back, bits and pieces about the evening he's talking about, and you are starting to believe that what he's saying might be true.
Uh, uh, does anybody here, any of the guests or anybody have a third eye or something that's like obviously spiritual about them?
I mean,
I mean,
Elena
yeah, I was
has
gonna
very
say.
high aspects and some weird extra abilities. Um,
All right, I'm just gonna turn and walk away from my brother, and walk straight up to Elena, and get on my knees in front of her, and ask her if she can see my soul, if she can see that I killed my sire.
she's gonna take your face in her hands and tell you that she saw it the first time she saw you.
Uh, Not sure if I would just break down there at her feet or run away from all this. I think it's
Why don't you
more.
make a willpower roll?
Okay. Current willpower or max?
Let's do current willpower.
Um, 10, 10, 9, 7.
Um, I'm gonna say then that you don't run away, but you were obviously very hurt. Yeah, obviously, by what's happening. Um, Elena tries to comfort you by saying that it was a thing that was out of your control,
Mm.
that you were not in control of yourself when you took their life, that you didn't diablerize them, so that was there's that if that's concerning you.
It was.
um, and that if you're ever interested, that there are Bahari purification rituals that can be done that are very painful but very effective if you ever want to make penance for what you've done.
I'll submit myself to her and tell her that I'll be available for that post haste.
She's going to call Conrad over and explain to him what the ritual entails. Not necessarily in earshot of you. Just this is mostly just to appease his need for revenge, and explain to him that at the end of this ritual, you will be cleansed of that sin, and that will have to be enough for him because that's the way things are done here. And if it's not, then she has ways of dealing with that.
Thank you. We'll go crawl to a corner and sob bloody tears into my hands.
Charlize, still invisible, hobbles over and gives Felix a drink.
Coming out through my eyes and then refilling.
Just there to basically catch it all.
Yeah. Right. Thank you for that.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
Hey, but you didn't kill anybody else, so
I
that's good.
didn't. I was really worried that when that happened I was gonna frenzy, so
Yeah.
Thank you for me for having 9 willpower.
Yes. Way to go. Gabriel has been eyeballing Francois from across the room, hoping that you would come and say hello to him.
Francois is going to spend a little bit of time not even noticing him, knowing full well that he's there, just mingling about, looking alluring without making it obvious that he's trying to moving, as one does. And then eventually he's going to, oh, notice Gabriel's over there, and saunter over towards him with 2 goblets, just to be nice.
He is very excited to notice when he notices you're approaching him, and straightens out his waistcoat and stands up straighter, and tries to make himself look as appealing as possible.
Bonsoir, mon cher, bonsoir. It is a delight to see you here at this party. Can I interest you in this drink?
Yes, thank you. He kind of has a little bit of business that he would like to discuss with you, if you don't mind.
Well, I tend to prefer pleasure over business, but I can make an exception for you, Dan.
Um, he's looking for a friend that has gone missing, and their ghoul, whose body was found outside of the club that you guys were at. Yes, he's very concerned.
Lips.
Oopsie.
Vincent is his name.
Sounds. I'm not actually sure Francois actually knew the name in the first place, but he does know who is being referred to. Is unsure how to approach that. I do think that someone here is going to know how to find him. Is he well, I assume one of us?
Yes, he was definitely among the undead, as you might say.
And the ghoul is dead. That is a pity.
No one has been able to find him since the that evening. And with his strongest ghoul dead in the way that he was, so pounded so thoroughly in the face, it makes him very nervous that Vincent may have met a similar fate.
who could have done such a thing. So, I mean, a
In-
ghoul, understandable, they are disposable things. It's a pity, but it happens. But if if this Vincent is missing, isn't it more likely that he simply is hunting for whoever did it?
the way our circle works, eh, though Vincent was very attached to that ghoul, he had put in many years making sure that that ghoul was absolutely perfect for its designed purpose. And his death would have been absolutely devastating to Vincent. Uh, I do believe that he still would have come to seek justice from, with the help of his kindred and not gone out on his own,
It is
as
highly
powerful as he
concerning.
is.
I do not know much about this bat and how things function, but it is highly concerning. Certainly. Certainement. I would say that our dear hostess knows more about these kind of things than I would. She seems to know everything that happens in this side on this horrible little city.
True.
But I do not know that the party is the place to bring up such things. Surely you must relax, darling. Mon cher, have a drink, and we can figure this out a little.
He will take you up on that and try to put his concern for Vincent out of his head and focus his attention entirely on you for the rest of the evening.
Which is how I prefer it.
Dahlia, are you ready to meet Vlad?
Oh no, is Dahlia ready? Dahlia might be ready. Dahlia is very nervous, obviously, but because Vlad's such a big name.
So, Vlad, after everyone has finally made their way into the building and he's done his due diligence of the evening, he hates this sort of activity of having to sit around and play politics and shake hands and kiss babies and all that stuff. He very much dislikes it. So once it's finally over, he's very relieved to be able to leave this the front of the room and come and find you because he is very interested in speaking with you.
Well, I can't imagine what for, so we'll see what that big name has to say to Dahlia. Maybe he's heard of my pounding abilities and decided to employ me himself.
So Vlad has a seat next to you and reaches out his hand to shake your hand and kisses you on the hand and does the same kind of thing that Elena did when she first met you and takes a big, deep whiff of you, basically.
And Dahlia's like, nice to meet you, Vlad. I mean, Vlad. Everybody is sniffing me all the time, but
So, once he's done that, he looks at you relatively shocked and kind of surprised. And he asked you the kind of the same personal questions that Elena did, like who was your sire, where were you born, what was your, you know, biological mother's name, Where did your family come from? Just, starts grilling you.
Well, Dahlia, well, I don't think I can very much skirt the subject around Vlad himself. So I feel like Dahlia's just she's very flustered by this, and she just goes, "Well, to be honest, don't quite know. We had some this I was practicing my flesh crafting way back in the day and I have messed up a couple things in my head and I lost a little bit of memory, but I have my sire currently has said a couple things, but I can't believe his rumors. I can't."
What did he say?
Well, I mean, it's funny that you're here because he did say that I was somewhat close to you, but he'd never quite told me what. He just, every time I would bring it up, because I've always been violently interested, he's kind of skirted around it as well.
Hmm. That might be because there are so many people over the years who have claimed to be me that everything has gotten kind of confusing for anyone to know who I actually am, which is good and bad for me. I get to stay where I want to stay without having to claim my name if I don't want to. But many, many years ago, before I was a vampire, I don't know how much Elena has told you about my upbringing, but she had a very close watch on me from birth and kind of raised me to become the vampire that I am now. But before I became a vampire, I had a wife and I had children. And on the night that I was turned into a vampire, the man who would become my sire did a very evil thing and killed my entire family, or so we had always been told. But through the years, it seems that my youngest son had been spared this fate and had gone on to have a family and children of his own. And so it would seem that I do have a bloodline of the human variety.
Well, I hope I've not accidentally smashed any of their heads in.
I don't know if you have, but I I suspect that you might be one of those people.
Well, it does make a little bit of sense with some things I was told, and then there's a little bit of my own nature. So I wouldn't be very surprised by the whole ordeal. Well, should I actually properly call you Vladdy then?
No.
Yes, I'm sorry, out of pocket, out of pocket.
um, I would like to help you get access to your full memories, if I can.
That would be nice. I actually do not like being cut off from it. I feel like if it is mine, I should have access to it.
That is how I feel with my estate. Yet here we are.
So, Vlad is going to ask you another personal question. Um, just to be sure about your uh, family tree, could I have some of your blood, please?
Well, hmm. I wonder how Dahlia would handle that, considering she is very territorial, and that's very it's very much hers. Like, would she put up a slight, like, I don't know, do you want? No, you don't get any of my blood. But I think it's Vlad. I don't think she could say no to such a important person. So she very, very reluctantly hands over her hand, and just closes her eyes, like she doesn't even want to see what happens to her own stuff leaving her body.
He will very gently use his teeth to prick a hole in your finger and take the tiniest sip very gently.
Dahlia blushes just profusely.
um, it takes him a few moments, but you can see that he becomes somewhat emotional. You see some tears, and he is overwhelmed because you would be the first that he has met of this bloodline. He's heard about it and didn't believe it, but you would be the first person that he's met from that bloodline. So you were like his first descendant that he's ever met out from this family that was murdered in front of his eyes, very brutally, very traumatic to him.
Well, no pressure, but
He he is a little overwhelmed, and he stands up and says to you, "Okay, I'm gonna try to reach into your mind and fix what you forgot to put back into place."
that would be most appreciated, and what an honor indeed.
um, Gavin, can you
Yeah,
roll 10 dice for me?
you bet.
Like, I feel like I should go, Papa!
Not my best roll.
No, but it's fine.
998
It's
5.
fine. It was a low target number for him. Um, it's a vicissitude roll for him, so
Gotcha.
body crafting vicissitude, that's his thing. And he's been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he places his hands on your head and closes his eyes, and he kind of starts muttering to himself, kind of like a surgeon, like using very scientific terms about what parts of the brain go where, as much as we know at the time anyway. He kind of has some made up words for what he calls everything because, again, we don't really have words for them at this point in time. Um, and as he is continuing to mutter to himself, it's kind of like putting puzzle pieces back into place that had been lost under a table. And you remember your human childhood. You remember the moment you were made a vampire. You remember the person who did it. You remember your first years after becoming a vampire, what they taught you, and how you learned vicissitude in the first place. And you you start to feel more complete in that knowing yourself kind of way.
Dahlia may get a little emotional as well. So Dahlia tries to hide the fact that she is shutting a little tear around her eye. She tries to wipe it on her lids. She needs to appear strong in front of Vlad now.
Well, you could just blame it on how painful vicissitude is to have performed on you. Yeah, it hurts. It's not an easy, nice process. Zamish can't do anything painlessly.
No pain, no gain.
That's why Elena likes him so much.
I think that's why Dahlia likes Elena so much anyway. We all just get along. Just in this beautiful building, we all.
Yeah. Well, it is about 8:30, and I would like to take a break really quick.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll be back and we'll see how the rest of the party goes.
All right.
hate these transitions. I never know what to say. But yeah, we're back now. And we are still at this Vlad's welcome home party. There is a late arrival to the party who is a little they seem a little frightened, more frightened than you've seen them in a very long time. I guess not a very long time. You haven't known them for that long, maybe a month. But Diana comes in and she's looking very flustered and almost like she's running. So she comes into the building and she makes a beeline for Elena. And you see her, you can't really hear what's going on, but you can see that Diana is very upset, and Elena seems to be trying to comfort her, and
Anya, we're having
yes.
a weird audio issue.
Yeah, I thought I heard something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the BRB screen and then come back in and see if that fixes it, because nothing sounds weird on my end. How about the rest of you?
Everything sounds quite crisp to
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
I keep hearing like the tiniest echo.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back and see if this fixes it.
Ready for a countdown, really.
Yeah. All right. Testing.
Testing. Is that working?
Yes, dude.
Testing.
Yeah, everybody sounds good on my end.
Oh, yes, I just turned on the stream. It's very...
Okay. It appears to be fixed. Thank you all so much for pointing that out. We didn't miss too much. All right, we have a new visitor.
Yay!
It's
I can
Cyber
recap really
Anya.
quick. What?
They were calling you Cyber Anya.
I'm a little bit, yeah. I'm a cyborg in real life.
All right.
Well, I'm going to recap really quick.
Yeah.
So, Diana comes in. She is very upset, looking like she is running, like she's frightened of someone trying to get her. She goes straight for Elena, and Elena is being very comforting, very motherly, because that's what Elena does. And Elena stands up and looks around the room and kind of make eye contact with you guys and gives you the come over here kind of signals. And yeah, she's waiting for you guys to follow directions.
Well, Francois is looking for any excuse to get away from Gabriel at the moment, since he's terrified that he's going to blurt out that he murdered his friend.
Dahlia needs a distraction from all her new memories and minds connections.
Yep, I'll wipe away the last of the bloody tears and or absorb them into my skin and go and assist as well.
We're all in such a state.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to stay invisible?
Yeah, we'll still hold the cups for comedic effect.
I'm pretty sure Elena can see you anyway, because she has a really high obfuscate, and if your obfuscate's high enough, you can kind of see everybody who's obfuscated invisibly. So she's just like, yeah, I see you over there.
Look at this dumbass. She thinks she can't see.
Yeah, so Elena tells you that the family that Diana has been staying with has become more and more belligerent, as Diana is not able to give them very accurate details that they would want to know about their son who has departed, because she's not a medium. That's not actually one of her gifts. But Elena is pretty sure that between the group of you that you could maybe either sleuth up some good details for her, or maybe one of you could actually perform a medium type skills to take the heat off of Diana and put an end to uh, her needing to live with these people and perform seances for them.
I volunteer that I hear a lot of voices, to be honest, and I have over the years sort of determined that I think some of them are spirits, and I'm willing to lend my hand as far as that goes to see if I can contact any purposefully rather than just having them intrude on me. So yeah, I'll do my best.
Elena can actually help you hone your skills a little bit. The next seance is set to happen at the end of the week on Friday evening. So you've got uh, an entire week to work with Elena, hone your skills a little bit, and see if you can't actually reach spirits. And Diana will and Elena will work with the rest of you guys to help put on a good show.
Charlize alone, being invisible, it's
Getting
gonna
cut
Just
Oh,
moving
around.
stuff
big
around.
floating cups. Oh.
yeah, awesome. Training montage.
Training montage. So Elena helps Felix figure out that he is actually speaking to spirits and how to tell the difference between a spirit and a stray thought, and how to focus in on specific spirits. Um, she tests you by giving you specific spirits that she can call forth herself and then have you communicate with. And that way she will know if you're actually communicating with the spirit or with something in your own mind. And she is able to determine that you actually do have the gift of being a medium. And yeah, she is very excited to send you into this situation, and she has full confidence in your abilities. um, Diana works with the rest of you guys and helps you kind of learn all the right things to say to it seemed like you very much believe to corroborate. What is that?
My merit that's finally coming in handy after on the fourth session. Medium.
Yeah, she teaches you guys basically all the right jargon to use. Um, asks for a couple of stories that she could corroborate through a seance for you guys. And then the plan is to have Felix do the real deal and interrupt her seance, make her look like an idiot so these people want her to leave. So she can leave without causing without having to deal with any necessarily negative repercussions in the human world.
Nice.
And then she's gonna come live with Elena. And yeah,
All right.
so dot dot dot. It's Friday evening, and we can get ready to go ruin a séance.
I'm ready. I
So
bring
does that
you.
mean we escape the party? Magnifique.
Yes. Elena tells you, Felix, that if you do well at this, that the purification ritual will be um,
Extra painful.
sooner.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
It won't be any sooner. It's always on a new moon, and
Ah.
the new moon just happens to be soon. Okay. So, just like before, um, some of the more wealthy members of the human upper class are here at this seance. They want to, speak to their loved ones who have passed, old lovers, parents, things like that. They want to know where'd you put those family jewels? Um, kind of a situation. And they are looking for Diana to be able to give them that information. And so far, she has not been able to give them any useful information. And they are getting tired and are about to start demanding the money that they have given her back. Yes. But again, tonight, because they are in the home of this family, they are focusing on their child. And let me scooch my note back so I can remember their name. What was their names? The Carter family. Oscar and Ivy Carter and their son Samuel. Their dead son Samuel. um yes. So the hobnobbing starts out pretty normal. All the humans are getting kind of drunk because they are annoyed and don't want to think about it too much. So they are just drinking a lot. And when the time comes for the seance, it's kind of the same situation. Um, Diana has everyone sit down at the table. She lights the candles. She asks everyone to place their hands flat on the table, and she goes through her whole, um, you know, the stereotypical things that happen during a seance. She asks for the spirits to speak to her, and she uses her, how do you say it, obtenebration powers to send what most people think of as ectoplasm. Again, yeah, I'm having word problems. um, out of her mouth. This time, instead of having a whole visage over her body that looks like Samuel, it's like a tentacle. And at the end of the tentacle is the child's face.
Mm.
And it's very disturbing and creepy. And Ivy is very upset by this. She doesn't like this. She starts asking very specific questions that Diana is obviously not privy to the answers. And Ivy continues to get upset. Oscar starts getting very forceful with Diana. He gets up like he's going to put his hands on her to throw her out of the building or slap her across the face to out of anger because of this frustration that he has over her obvious lies. But it is still very confusing to them just because um, they don't understand the obtenebration powers. It's still, convincing but scary. So they think
Yeah.
that Diana has invited something evil into their home that is not their son.
I have a
And they're
question.
kind of right.
For my obfuscate, I have Mask of a Thousand Faces.
hmm
What does that entail? Do I need to be like studying somebody? Because I'm wondering if I can have their son's face appear on my face, cause a scene.
Yeah, his picture is all over the place.
Okay.
So you definitely know what he looks like.
Because we're just basically trying to get her out of here, right? Without no fault to her, just make them not want to see her again.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would it says on my sheet, Mask of 1,000 Faces minus manipulation plus performance TN7. I don't fully understand how that
Just
works.
So it would
manipulation
be
plus performance.
Okay.
manipulation plus performance, target number 7.
Okay. So I will try that because I would like to see how that goes. I don't have anything under performance though, which sucks. So let's just see how manipulation goes.
Oh, you have 1 success.
Okay.
You are able to get a very close approximation to the child, but you are very large and very much taller than the child is.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the Carters are very convinced that there's a demon in their house that is trying to take the face of their son, and it is very upsetting to them, and they start to get not necessarily angry at Diana anymore. They are scared that they will now be haunted by this demon who looks like their son.
That's generally the risk you take when you start doing sales.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to have their son's face and be like, "Mommy, why are you doing this? It hurts. Stop. Let me rest." And like just make them be like, "Oh shit."
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a
Intimidation.
mom, that would be pretty convincing to me. But um, yeah. Ivy starts to cry. She starts begging Oscar to have Diana stop, that this needs to stop, that she doesn't want to hurt her son, that yeah, she's scared and she doesn't want to do this anymore.
I'll kind of poke Dahlia and be like, go restrain Diana so that it's clear that she can't do anything else. And then I'll take over.
Dahlia comes up and looks very gentle, or grabs her very gently, but then buffs up so it looks like she's holding her very tightly.
Diana's gonna put on a big show, like, oh, I can't move. I'm having you're hurting me. Please don't hurt me. I'll stop. And she uses her obtenebration smoke to blow out the candles closest to her so that it looks like, her power in the situation is gone.
Right. I'm ready. Is there like a specific question they've asked that I can try to get the answer to?
I think the question that they last asked Diana that she wasn't able to answer was the name of a grandmother that this child did not meet in life, but they had hoped that he would meet in the afterlife.
What should I do for this?
What does the merit say that you need to do to roll or?
Good question. I do not have that written down. It just says that spirits are willing to communicate with me, but they don't hold me in particularly high regard. I'm just something they can communicate with. So
Okay.
I don't think there are any specifics. It's kind of left up to GM's discretion.
Okay. Um, Samuel has been here this entire time and has been trying to reach out to his parents, but failing because there was no means to do that because Diana is not a medium. So, now that he sees that you are opening up and that you are a capable and willing vessel to host him so that he can speak, he is going to sit into your body.
Oh. Uh. Okay. I'll I'll open up myself to him to the best of my ability, I guess.
They kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's in
Hmm.
that, that book you get when you die.
The Soul Owner's Manual.
Yeah. He has you pound your fists onto the table to get everyone to stop freaking out, to startle everyone still, basically. Um, and then he speaks very clearly in his own voice out of your mouth. Um, and he starts telling his parents the answers to all the questions that they had been wanting answers to. And basically tells them that they need to stop reaching out so that he can go to where he needs to go to, that they are keeping him here by always seeking him. So, again, Ivy is very upset that she has hurt her child like this. And Oscar asks a couple more questions that about random little things that he and his son had done together. And because it is Samuel, he answers the questions very easily, no hesitation. And Oscar is convinced. Um, at that point, Samuel gives you back control over your body, and he leaves, and he's gone. And you can tell the family anything that you would want to tell them about that experience. You can say anything that you want to about Diana and her abilities.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I mostly tell them that he has departed this realm and it will not be possible to communicate with him further. But that Diana's a charlatan and she should be removed from the premises post haste. And that
Hey,
I'll grant them an audience uh, to tell them everything that he imparted to me uh, at their leisure.
Okay. Anybody else want to do or say anything?
I
Hermes
think
does.
Charlize wants to put her normal face back.
Yeah. Okay, well, you guys, they let you leave with Diana. They don't really ask what you're going to do with her. They don't really care. They're just angry and they want her out of their house.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Um, they're not super, yeah, they just don't care. They're rich white people. They don't have to worry about a whole lot. So, yeah, you guys can take Diana back to Elena's place.
Absolutely.
So, when you get back to Elena's place, um, Alexander is still hanging out. because he is just not convinced that um, Vlad can't do anything. So he is still hanging around. So if you wanted to have any kind of conversation with him, he is still there.
Because he's not going to recognize me. So I don't have to say that it's me right away.
Yeah.
I guess I can just try walking up to him and kind of ask him what his deal is, what he hopes to get out of this, even though I've been eavesdropping this entire time. I guess just see if I should feel bad for him or if he's an asshole.
He is still very much in the mindset of that his life has been ruined and he's very angry and doesn't understand why Vlad, who is so powerful, can't do anything for him. He doesn't understand how um, anyone could be expected to live like this. He still has a whole lot of vanity issues, but he yeah, he just can't. He's just upset because he can't live the life that he was accustomed to. And if he can't live the life that he wanted, he does have some desire to get revenge on the people that did this to him.
Well, you were accustomed to being alive before you were dead, bud. So, things change. Life sucks. Deal with it. You've made your bed, now you gotta lay in it. I mean, I feel like Charlize has conflicted emotions. Probably doesn't really know if she even wants to see him, be around him. The fact that he's like, how could I can't live like this? And I'm like, angled in front of his face. It's like, thanks, bud.
I live like this every day.
Yeah. It's like, people have it a lot worse than you. I guess, good luck with your life. You're too self-absorbed. I mean,
It's
feel
the
bad.
tortoise wreck.
Sucks to suck, bud. But, yeah, at this point, I think Charlize is like, you know what? It ain't so bad. I got some good friends. I got a gnarly face, but at the end of the day, I got people who care about me. So,
You do? The rat.
yeah. We solve crimes together. We're gonna.
Yep.
I think Charlize is just gonna kind of put this past her, be like, you know what? Yeah, I can close the chapter. Like, close this chapter on my life. I don't need to waste any more time thinking about him because he's only thinking about him. And that's
He's doing
enough.
enough of thinking about him for everybody.
Exactly. So it's like, you know what? Good luck with your life. Good luck with your revenge plan. Have fun. I'm gonna go solve more rat crimes.
Yeah, the Rasputin Detective Agency.
Mm-hmm.
A group
Side
of
note, Ratsputin is Ratkin, and he will eventually, at some point in time, introduce you to all of the were-rats in the city.
Heck yeah. Then creepy and gross the buddy cop team get together
Oh.
with rat.
And there's a lot of were-rats in this city.
Mhm.
I knew who I have to make friends with.
Maybe that's what we'll do next season. Break. We'll all be were-rats in the city.
There
Rats, rat
rats in
crime.
the city.
Stretch. Hello.
So I kind of have done everything that I wanted to do for this wrap up. So if there's anything else that you guys wanted to see your characters do?
Each other.
Orgy time.
It all fades to black on a giant orgy.
As every good story should end.
Charlize is like refreshments.
All the cups of blood levitating around the naked bodies.
Charlie's the one that makes it rain.
Red
Makes it
rain.
right. It's just like crafts and services for the orgy.
But yeah, I feel like it's so early, but that's everything that I kind of had planned for this wrap up. Like I feel like that went pretty well.
Yeah.
Now we tell the tales of Rasputin.
Mhm.
Wait patiently till the end.
Yeah, we'll have posters that say, you know, we caught the Jack the Ripper. What evidence do you have? None that we can give you.
Redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. Because Francois did do is able to tell what do you call him? Not the Sabat. Dang, the Camarilla that he was able to take care of the Jack the Ripper situation, which was a giant risk to the Masquerade, to them. They are willing to forgive you of your crimes in Paris, so if you ever do want to go home, you are able to do so. You have been
Actually,
forgiven.
I do miss Paris. The lights. Oh, London is nothing but fog all the time. How do you see anything? We have vampire vision, and I still cannot see a bloody thing. I may stay here for a while, so this Gabriel is would be the fun.
Yeah, you two could do
I
some
like the
traveling.
idea of working my magic on someone so prolific.
Yeah, if you can get him to get those other 2 points of blood bound.
Just a few more pieces.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Is Vlad the Impaler bloodbound to Dahlia?
Maybe for like wine tasting, maybe he spit after.
It was information gathering, but technically, yes, 1 point.
Ooh.
I mean, he's very not likely to do any other points, but you know, he had to know for sure.
Yeah.
In a sense, they were bound by blood to begin with.
Exactly.
So does that technically make Elena somewhat of like an
Ant?
ant?
Great ant?
Sort of. By marriage?
Once removed?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like
I mean,
all of us conquerors, we stick together.
she did eat Vlad's mom to try to become her, so yeah.
We'll keep that trauma secret.
She hasn't, so it's fine.
Yeah, she was divulging that like maybe 20 years after Vlad was dead. She was just telling everybody. Or after Vlad's mom was dead, that is. While Vlad was in Turkey in a prison. Yeah, so this
Yeah. So, are we gonna go back to Children of Midnight next week?
So we were thinking about doing a Q&A session where we also do a reenactment of one of the lost episodes. So on YouTube, which is tinyurl/Night Sky Sanctum, you'll see that episodes 2 and episode 4 are missing.
Yeah.
Episode 2 was a really short episode. It was awesome. Megan, as Seth, went to Rara Avis and nearly killed a witch's familiar, a manticore there. On an information gathering mission, but not a lot else happened that episode. And that was one of the lost episodes. But episode 4, we actually have the transcript from the episode, but we lost all the audio and video. So we were thinking about doing a reenactment. It should be an hour or less of us reenacting that episode, but it was so good.
It was a really good one.
It's so good it needs to exist. So yeah, we're thinking about doing that. If we can make that happen, we'll try to make that happen at our regular time next Tuesday, assuming everyone is available, and then we'll do a Q&A after that, and we'll have a cheese board and
all the cheese questions.
And Vespertine has already signed on to come and voice their character. So hopefully it will be the 4 of us, the 5 of us reunited. And yeah, so that might happen next Tuesday along with a Q&A. And then, yeah, and then we're going to decide what we're going to do, whether we're going to immediately go into Night Sky Sanctum Season 2, or if we're going to do a one-shot or something like that in the meantime. I'm still crafting Season 2's storyline, so I could use a little bit of extra time, but... and we might take a 1-week break if anybody needs it, so we'll all discuss that on our own. So if we need to take some time. And then, yeah, this Friday is April Fool's Day. Is the Animal Crossing Day. So, yeah, we'll be here on Balsamic Games channel for Animal Crossing this Friday. Sorry we missed last week. We were on vacation. We were hoping we would be able to stream from our vacation point, but it had horrible internet.
No.
Didn't even have heat.
No, it didn't have heat or internet.
No heat, no internet. Just a yurt in the woods.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, why don't you guys tell everybody where your social medias and things are, and yeah, we can sign off a little bit early tonight. I really hope you guys super enjoyed this vampire story. It was super fun for me to stretch my storytelling legs again. It's been a long time for me, and I really appreciated the opportunity, especially in a game that I love so much. So yeah, thanks for showing up every week and making me feel like I'm not terrible at it. So thanks.
Oh, great, darling. It was fabulous.
You are fantastic.
What?
I had a blast.
Thank you guys so
I
much.
hope we can revisit these characters sometime.
Yeah.
Yes, Dahlia's been a blast.
Yeah, they have a
I've
lot
fallen
of
in love with
Who wants to start it? Morningstar, you started before. Do you want to start again?
Well, surely I shouldn't start all the time, darling. It would be rude
Well,
to
you
keep
two kind of go
talking.
together, so you go
Yeah,
as
I have to follow
one
you
right after the other, so it'd be perfect.
All right, well, then I'll start, and they can go second. So, if you enjoyed looking at me this evening, and of course you did, you can look at me more by going to my Twitter or Instagram, which are the Cytherian, _Cytherian on Twitter and Instagram, and the Cytherian on Facebook. And we post photo shoots, which we like to think have quite the artistic quality to them. And they are all edited by the following.
Thanks for the lead up. I am as stated, I'm the photographer and editor for the Morningstar content. I don't currently have my personal links up with tutorials and piecework, possibly commissions in the future. But if you want to see any of the work that myself or Morningstar are doing together, you can go and visit any of the previously mentioned links.
Zaelwyn.
Well, I'm Azalvin, and you can find me anywhere under Azalvin. TikTok's under Goddess Azalvin, but everything else is just Azalvin, including here on Twitch. And I think tomorrow will be episode 2 of a fun little Sims playthrough. But yeah, just I'm always doing something creative and just random stuff.
Gavin.
Yeah, I'm Gavin. I'm one half of the creative team at Balsamic Moon Games Collective. We write tabletop role-playing games, and yeah, we will be running Children of Midnight Coven again very, very soon. And as a side note, everyone should go to patreon.com/the Scytherian and support Morningstar and Lilith in their endeavors because they absolutely deserve it.
Oh,
God,
shit.
you're so loved promoting us on your stream.
Oh, you put our stuff up on screen. Thank you.
I tried. It's I'm having a hard time with the web browser, but yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's showing through into the stuff, but yeah, awesome stuff. Very well worth the few dollars that they require for their worship.
We're glad that you think the tithe is reasonable.
Was that everybody?
Me.
Oh, Anya, why don't you tell us about yourself and what you do?
I'm Anya. um,
That was so cute.
yeah.
Sorry.
I think this is officially the 11th session you've ever game mastered or storytellered. And I have to say you are amazing.
Well, thank you.
I don't think I think it was probably 300 sessions in before I was half as good as you are. So
Well, if you want to watch more of Unscripted Anya, you can come find me here on Fridays playing Animal Crossing, where I am attempting to control my flowers.
flower control.
It really is quite the trial controlling those flowers. I had to put invisible patterns all over the floors to make sure that they didn't overrun my village.
Yep, I'm gonna have to do that. Once I get my blue roses, then I'll do that.
The elusive blue roses that I completely gave up on getting.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh, I put a link to our Discord into chat. So if anybody's interested in joining us on Discord, we have an awesome community. Most of the people in chat are in there already. So yeah, please feel free to come and join our free Discord. And we would love to talk to you. And we do polls and things like that, giveaways through our Discord. Thank you, Princess Kitty Bubblegum, for the awesome cheers. Yeah, we're so new to all this. So but thank you so much. It was great talking to you last week.
The only one of us who really knows what they're doing is Azalea.
That's true.
I don't even see chat for the most part. So I'm just like, yay, somebody mentioned somebody did something. But yes, we will see you guys all next week. Thank you again so much for being here and supporting us and all of our creative endeavors. We really appreciate it. You have no idea. We really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you again so much.